everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 20th of June 2023 and to be honest guys, there's not much movement so far as the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is concerned. But let's say if you were to look at the global cryptocurrency market via let's say CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, a lot of the cryptocurrencies are definitely looking green. So it looks like we're definitely heading most likely towards a bullish market. I really am not sure. Now Sui token is definitely up. Along with that, Stacks is up and MakerDAO is up as well. So we'll very briefly touch base on the prices of these cryptocurrencies. And guys, listen, there is a massive news going on so far as central bank digital currency is concerned. And there is a project called Project Rosalind. So we'll very briefly touch base on this. And looks like there is possibility of smart contracts with central bank digital currencies. So a really interesting project. But it's important to know that the project is purely experimental. And at this point of time, it does not have any intentions by the Bank of England to actually go ahead and launch. But I wouldn't be surprised in the near future, and I'm talking about, let's say 6 months to 1 year's time or so, if this would actually go live. So really interesting project. And guys, every Monday's Glassnodes, they tend to provide a weekly insight, essentially a snapshot of what has happened in Bitcoin. So we'll definitely very briefly run through that. Now what I used to do is in my Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast, I used to often cover this news, but what I tend to realize is that the information that I put out is mostly to do something which has already happened and unfortunately does not give any indication of what is going to happen in the following week. And I often say guys, all predictions based on these models never turn out to be true. But in today's episode, I just thought I'll maybe revisit it once again, and if the data is relevant and it makes sense, I'll try to cover them in my future Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast as well. And guys, yesterday I talked about Bitcoin Ordinals reaching a new milestone, and because of this, the mining industry has definitely benefited. And what has happened guys is that the Bitcoin mining difficulty has risen once again. And at the outset guys, you need to know that the Bitcoin mining difficulty gets adjusted every 2016th block, or roughly around every 2 weeks. So we'll definitely go ahead and talk about that. And guys, listen, this entire year I've been talking quite a lot about Binance. Yesterday I covered 3 news about Binance, and today I have another update regarding Binance, and looks like one of the entities in Binance UK has requested for cancellation. So definitely unfortunate news at a macro level. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore what that news is all about. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast, I'm going to be discussing 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news is from DIFC, that is Dubai International Financial Center, and they are planning to build a campus to attract over 500 artificial intelligence and Web3 companies. Absolutely massive deal. And the second news guys is all the way from Riyadh, and they are planning to launch an academy, and it is a training camp focusing on metaverse. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode, so let's kick start with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee 88, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee 88 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee 88. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee 88, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee 88, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Shalhoub Group, a luxury retail and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalhoub Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they have replaced it with Web3 and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalhoub Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Shalhoub Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now guys, since we've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now at the outset, guys, if you look at CoinMarketCap, most of the cryptocurrencies are looking green, but there's not much movement, to be honest. The global cryptocurrency market is still at $1 $1.08 trillion, and since the last 24 hours, it has only gone up by 1.30%. Now, this is most likely because of yesterday's news regarding BlackRock getting into the Bitcoin ETF game. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that news develops, because I'm pretty much sure once that ETF is approved, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will definitely be pumping up to the moon. Now, so far as the total crypto market volume is concerned, over the last 24 hours, it is at $26.17 billion and it is up by $27.59 billion. Now, unfortunately, guys, the volume in DeFi is not looking good. It is down to $1.63 billion, and so far as the total value locked is concerned, it is only at $42.27 billion, and Lido is still dominating with an average percentage of roughly around 29%, and so far as its total value locked is concerned, $12.79 billion is locked in its protocol. And unfortunately, guys, DeFi is only accounting for 6.23% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Next, guys, what I'm going to be looking at is the 24-hour volume. And unfortunately, guys, despite the global cryptocurrency market looking green, the volume in DeFi has actually gone down, and Uniswap's volume is almost half of an average good day, and as of today, it is at $480.06 million. PancakeSwap's volume is $181.57 million. Balancer is number 3rd so far as volume is concerned, and it is $86.21 million. Meta TDAX is $56.05 million, and Core Finance at $55.93 million. And one trend, guys, which I mentioned quite often in my podcast is whenever the volume on Dodo tends to pick up, the volume on Uniswap tends to pick up as well. And it's no surprise that Dodo protocol is not in top 5. As a matter of fact, it is not in top 8 either. Now let's look at the volume of stablecoins. Now the total volume of all stablecoin, guys, is down to $24.82 billion. And despite it being ridiculously low, it accounts for 94.86% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And Tether USDT, guys, is still leading the pack with $18.12 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $3.07 billion. And if you were to compare, guys, Circle USDC's volume is definitely much better than, let's say, Tether USDT or Binance BUSD. And later on, guys, I'm going to be giving out all information regarding Circle USDC, such as what it is, the founding team members, the consortium, and quite a lot more. And I'll be doing that in just a few minutes. But before that, let's look at Binance BUSD's 24-hour volume. It is at $1.85 billion, and stablecoins, guys, needs to account for a lesser percentage of the total cryptocurrency market volume. Now, I'm really hoping, guys, in order for cryptocurrencies to go mainstream, the volume of stablecoins should definitely go down, and the volume of Bitcoin and Ethereum, or maybe even meme coins, should definitely pick up pace, which would mean that people are actually using cryptocurrencies and not necessarily stablecoins in order to make purchases. And that, guys, would be an ideal situation. And that is the time we can collectively say that the so-called Web 3.0 or cryptocurrencies has definitely gone mainstream. Because you need to understand, guys, that central bank digital currencies do the same thing what stablecoin does, but it also offers protections and it also offers customer service. And based on the news today that I'm going to be discussing, it also has the ability to offer smart contracts, even subscriptions, and quite a lot of other. Now, before we get into that, let's quickly run through the market cap, 24-hour trading volume, and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And Bitcoin's dominance, guys, is a little over the $500 billion mark, and it is at $522 billion, whereas Ethereum is well below the 50% mark of Bitcoin's market cap at $208 billion. And the 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin is $13.02 billion, and Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $5.02 billion. And guys, the dominance of Bitcoin is definitely picking up pace. It is at 48.45%, and Ethereum's dominance is 19.40%. Now, before we look into Circle USDC, let me very quickly run through the market cap of privacy coins and Web3 protocols, because Monero is clearly leading the pack, and so far as its market cap is concerned, it is at $2.53 billion, followed by Mask Network at $300 million and Zcash at $224 million. And so far as Web 3.0 protocol is concerned, guys, Chainlink is the leader at $2.75 billion, Filecoin is at $1.59 billion, and finally the Graph at $90.7 billion. Now, before we look into the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, let me very briefly explain what Circle USDC is. And guys, if you do want to find out more information, the website is center.io/USDC. So mind you, guys, the website is center.io/USDC. USDC. And guys, listen, you need to truly understand what Circle is, because Circle USDC, guys, to be honest, guys, is my favorite coin. So let me very briefly run through what Circle USDC is. And USD coin, also called as USDC, is a stable coin that is pegged to the US dollar on a one-to-one basis, and every unit of this cryptocurrency in circulation is backed up by $1 that is held in a reserve in a mix of cash and short-term US Treasury bonds. And it is also backed by a consortium, guys, and the consortium is called as the Center Consortium. And that's one of the reasons why, in order to get more information regarding Circle, the website is center.io/USDC. And the consortium behind Circle, called as the Center, is behind the asset, and it actually states that USDC is issued by a greater regulated financial institutions. And guys, Circle USDC was originally launched on a limited basis going back to September of 2018. And simply put, guys, USDC's coin's mantra is digital money for digital age, and the stablecoin is designed for a world where cashless transactions are becoming more common, and several use cases have been unveiled for USD coin, as well as providing a safe haven for crypto traders in times of volatility. And those behind the stablecoin says it can also allow businesses to accept payments in digital assets and shake up an array of sectors, including decentralized finance and gaming as well. And overall, guys, the goal is to create an ecosystem where USDC is accepted by many wallets, exchanges, service providers, and decentralized apps as possible as well. And because of the nature of the value being completely stable, it becomes easier for merchants to go ahead and accept USDC coin, or even Tether USDC for that matter. Now let me try to give out some bits and pieces of information regarding the consortium, because the Center Consortium has two founding members, and one of them, guys, is a peer-to-peer payment service company called Circle, and the second one is Coinbase, which might just be the second biggest cryptocurrency exchange, and other crypto ventures are open to join this consortium. Now what they are saying is that the consortium is completely open for anyone to join, and Circle co-founders have said that we believe that an open Internet of Value exchange can transform and integrate the world more deeply, eventually eliminating artificial economic borders and enabling a more efficient and inclusive global marketplace that connects every person on the planet. Now in 2020, guys, Circle and Coinbase collectively announced a major upgrade to USDC's protocol and smart contract, and the goal of these enhancements is to make it easier for USD coin to be used for everyday payments, commerce, and peer-to-peer transactions. But listen, guys, my big question is, if you look at it, Circle and Coinbase are literally playing the role of a bank. Why would you want to use a stable coin that is backed by a central entity? And this is the reason why, guys, SEC is aggressively going after them. But that thing being said, if you were to compare, let's say, Tether USDT with Circle USDC, personally, I would pick Circle USDC hands down. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is go through the audit reports. It has pages and pages of Excel spreadsheet giving very detailed explanation on what is it that makes Circle USDC stand out. And personally, guys, I do feel that they are a brilliant project. And if you were to compare the audit report with, let's say, Tether USDT, it is absolutely astonishingly sad to see how bad Tether USDT's audit report is. But nonetheless, guys, Circle USDC right now currently has some kind of drama between Binance, and I very specifically remember in September of 2022, Binance did try to overtake Circle USDC, and this war between stablecoin is definitely going back to September of 2022. And few months ago, guys, there was also some drama about Circle USDC going DPEG, but looks like they had the funds as reserved as promised, and the project was completely back to what it is. And guys, if you look at Circle USDC's market cap, it is hovering somewhere between the $28 billion mark. But my big question is, guys, why use a stable coin when central bank digital currency kicks in? Because listen, guys, one thing which I've said several times is, when you talk about stable coins, they're definitely acting the role of a bank, and your transactions can be 100% censored or stopped as well. So if given a choice, let's say, between Circle USDC or a CBDC, personally I would prefer CBDC, and on top of that, CBDCs might also have some kind of insurance. They would have customer service and the ability to maybe even do transactions without the internet, something maybe similar to using your debit card or credit card. Unfortunately, stablecoins and cryptocurrency in general, guys, are definitely lagging behind in basic technologies, and lagging behind by maybe a couple of decades. Now, guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Now, the price of Bitcoin is marginally pumped up, and it is currently at $26,887, and since the last 24 hours, it is up by 1.93%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 4.26%. Ethereum gas is not doing that great. It is at $1,742. Since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 1.20%, and since the last 7 days, it is up by 0.50%. Now listen guys, what I think is, because of the news of BlackRock getting into the spot Bitcoin ETF, the prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies, would they actually pump up more than the actual impact of BlackRock's approval of Bitcoin ETF? And that is the crazy world of cryptocurrencies. Now Binance Coin guys is currently at $244. Since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 0.80%, but since the last 7 days, it is up by 6.32%. Now if you look at the global cryptocurrency market guys, Sui token is surprisingly up by 10.27%, and recently they also had a bug, but looks like the bug was found, and what happened is that a blockchain security firm called Certic did find an infinite loop bug in Sui token, and because the security firm Certic identified the bug, they were granted $500,000. So definitely brilliant stuff. Going back to the price, Sui token is up by 10.27% since the last 24 hours. And if you look at it from the last 7 days, it is up by 15.34%. Stacks protocol that deals with Bitcoin blockchain is also up by 9.82%. And since the last 7 days, it is up by 7.76%. And when we talk about Bitcoin blockchain, guys, because of the whole hype of Ordinals, the miners are definitely being profited by it. And because of that, a lot of people do want to get into the mining pool, making the mining difficulty extremely tough, and we'll definitely go ahead and talk about that. And MakerDAO gas, which is also called as a Boomer protocol, is also up by 5.87% since the last 24 hours, and since the last 7 days, it is up by 13.04%. Now guys, let's discuss an interesting project by the Bank of International Settlement, and this project is called as Project Rosalind, and it is a CBDC project with smart contracts as well. Now if you do want to read through the report I believe is roughly around 33 pages long, and they mentioned it via the Twitter account, and what they actually tweeted is that the Bank of International Settlement Innovation Hub in London Centre and the Bank of England explored how a universal and extensible API layer could connect central bank and private sector infrastructures and facilitate retail central bank digital currency payments. Now you need to understand guys that there are different types of central bank digital currencies. One is wholesale CBDCs, retail CBDC, and multiple CBDC. And this project, guys, called as Project Rosalind, is named after British scientist Rosalind Franklin, whose work was key to understanding DNA processing. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, read through the entire report, but it's really important to note that the project is purely experimental and does not reflect any intentions by the Bank of England on central bank digital policy, design, or launch. So let me try to give us some basic bits and information from that report, because Project Rosalind, guys, is an experiment conducted by the Bank of International Settlement, also called as BSI, and the Bank of England to explore the use of central bank digital currencies in retail transactions, and the project aimed to create a universal and flexible application programming interface, also called as the API, that could connect central bank and private sector systems and enable various CBDC payment scenarios. And the initiative, guys, developed 33 API functionalities and examined over 30 use cases for CBDCs in retail settings. These included person-to-person transfers, retail payments for goods and services, and small value business transactions as well. And to test the possibilities, the project explored different payment methods such as online and in-store payments, offline transactions using near-field communications, QR codes, mobile phones, smart cards, biometric devices, and smart assistants. And they also looked into private sector programmability and micropayments, and this, guys, is the nature where smart contracts kick in, and you can also do subscriptions as well with this. Now the project's main focus was designing a versatile API layer that could connect central bank infrastructure with private sector services, facilitating CBD payments and promoting innovation. And the project, guys, opened a two-tier CBDC model where the central bank issues the CBDC and provides the underlying ledger infrastructure, while the private sector offers user-facing services. And this, guys, if you look at it, can also solve a lot of the privacy issues as well. And one of the ideas is central banks all over the world, they would issue the central bank coins, whereas the banking industry, they would be playing the role of miners and updating them on the block. So the miners or the banks will be updating the transactions. But so far as issuance, management and supply is concerned, that will be done by central bank digital currency. Now going back to the news, guys, in addition to the technical aspects, the project provided insights into crucial elements of a retail CBDC system, including API designs, privacy models, security measures, standardization, offline payments, private sector programmability, and the roles and responsibilities within the ecosystem. And researchers looked at a well-designed API and could enhance user experience when making payments, and tested how central bank digital currencies could be used to pay in shops, on mobile phones via QR codes, and through several other methods as well. So definitely interesting project. So my big question, guys, is once central bank digital currency goes mainstream, what kind of a threat will they have on, let's say, RippleNet or on stablecoins is definitely worth thinking about. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding Glassnode's. And Glassnode's weekly insight states volatility, volumes, and realized values are a multi-year lows, indicating that Bitcoin investor apathy is firmly in play, but hodlers continue the classic slow and steady accumulation, with the halving now less than 1 year away. Now listen guys, if you're someone who likes charts and graphs, what I definitely recommend you to do is read through the article, because they have quite a lot of charts and graphs. But let me try to very briefly summarize what the insight states, because what that report states is that the cryptocurrency market is currently experiencing a period of relative calm and stability, and the volatility of prices, meaning the degree of price fluctuation, is at multi-year lows. This indicates that the market is less turbulent, with prices showing less erratic movements. Additionally, the trading volume, which measures the number of assets being bought and sold, is also ridiculously low. This suggests that there is less overall activity and interest from investors in trading cryptocurrencies, and the realized value, which reflects the actual worth of transactions taking place, is also at a multi-year low. And this, guys, indicates that the value of transactions occurring in the market is relatively small. And guys, listen, what I tend to do is I tend to look at the 24-hour trading volume, and to be honest, the volume is ridiculously low since the last quarter of 2022, and these factors combined suggest that there is a lack of liquidity in the market. And liquidity, guys, as we know, refers to the ease with which assets can be bought or sold without significantly affecting the price. And in a market with thin liquidity, it can be more difficult for investors to find buyers or sellers for the assets, which may contribute to a sense of apathy among investors. Now, despite this lack of overall market enthusiasm, there is an interesting trend regarding Bitcoin, guys, and Bitcoin is being moved away from exchanges, which are platforms where cryptocurrency exchanges can be bought and sold, as well as from miners and large holders. So it looks like, guys, this is positive news, because the moment people are withdrawing their funds from the exchanges and putting it, let's say, in the hardware wallet, it just means that they have the whole hodler mentality, and Bitcoin is flowing towards entities both large and small who tend to hold on to the Bitcoin for longer periods of time. And this card suggests that there is a growing number of long-term holders, also called as hodlers, who believe in the potential value of Bitcoin and are less interested in actively trading it. Now, when comparing the current market conditions to, let's say, previous cycles in cryptocurrency market, it does actually appear that we are in a transitional period, and this phase, guys, is characterized by a lack of investor enthusiasm, leading to a sense of apathy and boredom. However, it is worth noting that there is an upcoming event called as the Bitcoin halving, which refers to the reduction in the rate of which new Bitcoins are created, and most likely, guys, this event is less than a year away. As a matter of fact, roughly around 305 days away from now, and that could have an impact on the market, potentially sparking renewed interest and activity. So definitely positive news. And regarding Bitcoin, guys, we also have some update, and this is regarding the Bitcoin mining difficulty. And the Bitcoin mining network has witnessed a consecutive surge in mining difficulty during the past 3 retargets, and now for the very 4th time, most likely it might be having another increase. And the next target date, guys, is on the 27th of June 2023. And guys, listen, every 2016 block, the Bitcoin mining difficulty gets adjusted. So let's say if there are too many miners and if the mining is easier, the software designed by Satoshi Nakamoto is designed in such a way that next 2016 block, the software automatically makes it difficult. And let's say if the difficulty mining is difficult, in the next retargeting, the mining gets easier and so forth. Now the block generation time average is less than 10 minutes, indicates that the difficulty is projected to climb by an estimated 2.1% to 2.33% based on the latest statistics. Now, if you're someone who's working into the mining industry, what I'd really recommend you to do is Bitcoin.com did actually provide a very detailed information which looks at the technical information. So definitely go through that. And guys, one reason why I do think this has happened is because of Bitcoin ordinals, and Bitcoin ordinal inscriptions adds data to transactions, causing the mempools to fill up and increasing transaction fees. And this, guys, I very strongly feel has attracted more miners, making mining more difficult but at the same time very profitable as well. And remember, guys, the mining difficulty gets adjusted every 2016 block at roughly around 2 weeks, and the next mining difficulty will get adjusted on the 27th of June 2023. And guys, by regularly adjusting the mining difficulty, the Bitcoin network does aim to maintain a consistent block generation time and uphold the security and integrity of the blockchain. So definitely brilliant design work by Satoshi Nakamoto. Now guys, let's discuss some unfortunate news regarding Binance UK. And the UK subsidiary of Binance has cancelled its registration with the FCA, that is the Financial Conduct Authority, and the official news can actually be found out via the Financial Conduct Service Authority's website. And looks like Binance did actually request for cancellation of the registration, and Binance UK, guys, can no longer provide regulated activities and products. And unfortunately, 2023 is turning out to be one of the worst years for Binance. And also, guys, I'm looking at Binance BUSD's market cap. It is down to $4.29 billion. And in September of 2022, guys, Binance BUSD's market cap was hovering around the $16 billion mark. So imagine, guys, in less than a year, Binance BUSD's market cap has gone down from $16 billion to $4.29 billion. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised, let's say in the next few days, if the market cap of Binance BUSD might go well below the $4 billion mark as well. So definitely brutal stuff, particularly for Binance. Now guys, let's discuss two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. The first news, guys, is a massive news, and this is regarding Dubai International Financial Center. And they are planning to build a campus to attract 500 artificial intelligence and Web3 companies. So let me briefly run through what that news is all about, because the campus will span over 100,000 square feet and will be located within the DIFC jurisdiction, and it aims to attract 500 artificial intelligence and Web3 companies from around the world. And the campus will focus on the use of artificial intelligence and Web3 in the financial services industry. And the facility, guys, will include state-of-the-art hardware, research and development facilities, accelerator programs, and collaborative workspaces as well. And the project is expected to attract over $300 million in collective funds, and it aims to create 3,000 jobs by 2038. And the campus, guys, called as the Dubai AI and Web3 campus, will be headquartered in DIFC's new Innovation One premises. And this initiative is under the directives of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the first deputy ruler of Dubai. And DIFC, guys, is a leading global financial center in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia region. And the campus will contribute to UAE's goal of injecting 103 billion dirhams into the economy through artificial intelligence by year-end 2035. And guys, DIFC's 2030 strategy focuses on shaping the future of financial technology and innovation. And the Innovation Hub at DIFC offers a comprehensive fintech and venture capital environment. And the fastest growing sector in DIFC is fintech and innovation, with 686 associated firms. And the Dubai Artificial Intelligence and Web3 campus will attract global innovators, startups, and industry leaders. It will provide a sector-specific licensing and regulatory framework for artificial intelligence and Web3 companies. And guys, listen, the goal is to establish a vibrant ecosystem of artificial intelligence-driven initiatives in the MENA region. And the Dubai Artificial Intelligence and Web3 campus aims to become the preferred headquarters of artificial intelligence and Web3 companies. So guys, definitely very positive news, and there's so much of hype surrounding artificial intelligence right now. And Dubai, guys, once again wants to be a leader, not just in the MENA region, probably in the entire world as well. Now another leader that is slowly picking up pace is in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And look, guys, one trend which I've been noticing is that Saudi Arabia is definitely taking leaps and bounds, not just in the blockchain space, but also in the metaverse space as well. And this news is regarding metaverse. And Tawak Academy launches metaverse training camps in Riyadh. So let me very briefly run through what that news is. Now the website to find out more information is tawak.edu.sa. Now let me spell it out for you because it's not easy. It's T for Tango, U for Umbrella, W for Water, A for Alpha, I for India, Q for Qatar.edu.sa. And the SA stands for Saudi Arabia. And the Tawak Academy, guys, in Riyadh has launched Metaverse Academy camps for students, and the camps are the first of their kind in MENA region, that is the Middle East and North Africa region, and the academy has partnered with none other than Meta to provide training in building and developing Metaverse system. And as of now, guys, there are 3 educational tracks, that is a 1-day program, 4-week program, and 9-month program, and the camps will be held at the academy's head office in Riyadh, and the 1-day course introduces virtual worlds and augmented virtual reality technologies as well, and the 4-week course focuses on developing skills in Metaverse technologies using Meta Spark software, and the 9-month program, guys, offers immersive training as a developer of 3D immersive real-time applications and augmented reality effects using Meta Spark Studio. The Wake Academy, guys, has partnered with major multinational corporations such as Google, Amazon, IBM, Cisco, Apple, and quite a lot more, and the academy aims to provide training programs in digital, cybersecurity, emerging technologies, programming, and drones as well, and over 3,000 people have already benefited by Tuwek Academy's camps and programs, and interested participants, guys, can register on Tuwek Academy's programs and courses on the website. That'll be really cool, guys, if I tend to get them on my podcast so I can try to give out more bits and pieces of information. Now, the partnership with Meta enables students to gain experience in Metaverse technologies, and the camp provides hands-on training and immersive experience in the Metaverse field, and the Tuwek Academy is a leading institution in Riyadh offering cutting-edge training programs, and the Metaverse Academy camps cater to students with different needs and time commitments, and the Academy's collaboration with major institutional companies definitely ensures an extremely high-quality training, and Tuwek Academy, guys, aims to empower students in digital skills and emerging technologies. So definitely brilliant stuff. So those are the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee at 8 on Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. If you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Anita who asks, do you think CBDCs will be able to work offline as well? Absolutely, 100% yes, Anita. Now, if you want to compare, let's say, cryptocurrencies or stablecoins, as of now, you definitely do require, let's say, the internet to work, but there are some protocols. What they promise is that you can connect your cryptocurrencies to, let's say, your physical debit card, but unfortunately, that is a 100% centralized project. So rather than using that debit card, I would rather use my own debit card. But let's say when you talk about central bank digital currencies, you can definitely use it offline. And I wouldn't be surprised at the time of the launch, they might be, let's say, connected to your smartwatch as well. Now, one of my hobbies is doing a lot of running, and I do have a lot of smartwatches, and pretty much all of the smartwatches, they are connected to your bank app. So it could be possible that these CBDCs are also connected to smart devices. And when you talk about, let's say, machine learning, when you talk about subscription services, these are things which are currently still not working with cryptocurrencies. Now, we talk so much about technology and cryptocurrency is fairly advanced. Unfortunately, that is not true. Now, CBDCs, once they launch, will definitely take leaps and bounds over cryptocurrencies. And that's one of the reasons why, Anita, I often say is when you look at the volume of stable coins, not only is the volume ridiculously low, it is also accounting for well over 90%, and that unfortunately should not be the case. But to answer your question, Anita, yes, CBDCs will definitely work offline, and one advantage that I can think right at the top of my head is the ability to, let's say, do subscriptions. We talk about a decade-old systems in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. None of the projects at this point of time do have the ability to, let's say, pay for subscription services, let's say for Amazon or Netflix or Spotify, but with CBDCs you'll be able to do that, and you need to look at the usability aspect of it. Now, keeping all these things in mind, CBDCs will definitely be in a position to work offline, and they can always connect it, let's say, to your debit card, maybe credit card, or maybe something newer as well. So definitely I do think they are in a position to work offline. And what I'll be really curious to see is if CBDCs are connected to, let's say, machine wearable things or wearable items. Most likely that will happen at the time of launch itself. And Anita, what I'd recommend you to do is every month I tend to have a session on central bank digital currencies where I tend to go ahead and explain the basics of CBDCs, the threats to freedom and its role in the metaverse. And I do make a comparison, let's see, with Bitcoin as well. And I talk about the geopolitical situation, what side of the political parties are in favor of CBDCs, and what side of the party are not in favor of CBDCs. Now, mind you, at this point of time, I would say 90% of CBDCs are actually terrible so far as use case is concerned. But when you talk about, let's say, just it being used offline, but if you were to compare it, let's say, from a technology point of view and compare it with cryptocurrencies, maybe it does have some advantage. Now, most likely, I might have that event via Eventbrite on the 3rd week of July, so please feel free to keep checking on that. And if you do want to find out more information, you can also go to my website, that is www.blockchaindxp.com, and under the tab it says blockchain, you will find a PDF file, so you're more than welcome to completely download that and read it at your own time as well. So that's all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series in Blockchain DXP. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxp.com, and also check out my website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And how the series of episodes in the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.